Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Capability Forum hosted by Skilliming. Today's discussion is on a highly relevant and timely theme. AI tools are easy, thinking is hard. What should L&D focus on? As organizations rapidly adopt AI tools, the real challenge is no longer access to technology. It is enabling people to think critically, make better decisions, collaborate effectively, and apply these tools meaningfully in the flow of work. So at Skillame, we strongly believe that the future of learning is not just about tool adoption, but about building capability that translates into performance and business impact. So we are delighted to have an experienced panel with us today. Starting with our first panelist, Ms. Leela Nallala, Deputy Manager, Group Organization and Development and L&D at Amara Raja Group. So Leela brings extensive experience in learning and organization capability development with a strong focus on enabling workforce transformation and people effectiveness. Over the years, she has worked closely with business and leadership teams in driving learning interventions aligned to business outcomes, leadership readiness, and employee capability building. Her perspectives on how organizations can balance technology adoption with human capability development will be extremely valuable to today's discussion. Welcome, Ms. Leela.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Patil, for a warm introduction. Looking forward to the discussion.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Leela. So our next panelist for today is Ms. Shabna Syed, Senior Manager Talent Development at Product. Shabna brings strong experience in learning strategy, talent development, and capability enhancement across organizations. She has been closely involved in designing and driving learning initiatives that support workforce readiness, leadership development, and organizational growth. Her understanding of how L&D functions are evolving in response to the changing environment. So her perspectives will add a lot of insights to this particular session. So welcome, Ms. Shapna.
Thank you so
Welcome.
much, Patil. That's a very generous welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. So we also have with us Mr. Arvind Warrior. He's an experienced HR and people leadership professional with close to 2 decades of experience across organizations such as Volvo Group, Infosys, Novo Nordisk, and other global enterprises. He has worked extensively in areas spanning people strategy, organization culture, leadership development, employee engagement, and capability transformation. So with deep expertise in driving people and culture initiatives in evolving business environments, Arvind brings valuable perspectives on how organizations can build future-ready talent, strengthen leadership capability, and navigate the changing world of work in the AI era. Welcome, Mr. Arvind.
Thank you very much, Veerabhadra. Looking forward, humbled and honored. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're
So our
welcome.
final panelist is Mr. Bipin Pitwa, Head HR Learning and Organization Development at Moneybox Finance Limited. Bipin is a seasoned leadership and capability building professional with rich experience in people transformation, coaching, leadership effectiveness, and organization development. He has worked extensively with leaders and teams in helping organizations improve performance through behavioral capability, mindset shifts, and structured development approaches. His insights on leadership in AI-enabled environments and the evolving role of managers will add a very practical dimension to these conversations. Welcome, Mr. Pipin.
Thank you so much.
So, moderating today's discussion is Mr. Iqbal Singh, an experienced professional known for driving engaging and insightful conversation around leadership and capability development and workforce transformation. So he is leading the L&D initiatives at Cafe Coffee Day. So with his strong understanding of organization, learning, and evolving workforce needs, he will help guide this discussion through some of the most important questions that L&D leaders and organizations are navigating today. So welcome, Mr. Iqbal.
Thank you so much, Mr. Patil.
And thank you once again to all our panelists for taking time out of your busy schedule and joining us on this panel discussion today. Without further delay, I would now like to hand it over to Mr. Iqbal to take the discussion forward.
Thank you so much again, Mr. Patil, for the wonderful introduction for all the panelists. And yeah, I can see that a lot of experts are there in our discussion today. So obviously, we are going to have a wonderful discussion, and I'm sure that our learners will have a great outcome. So as you have rightly said, that AI technology itself is becoming simple. Especially after COVID, I feel that the half-life of skills is shrinking at a very drastic pace, and still the real challenge is human thinking, such as judgment, creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making. Right. So to unfold the secrets and also the unique collaboration of AI and human beings, let's start the discussion for today. So the first set of questions is just going to be a warm up session, or maybe a quick what I would say that Q&A session, right? So the first question goes to Arvind. So, as I think somebody rightly said that you are famous for your one-liners, but here you have to answer this question in just one word. So
Okay.
the question is, in one word, how would you describe the mood of employees when you first introduce a new AI tool?
Curiosity.
Curiosity. Oh, wow, wonderful. This is something missing these days, when it comes to the younger generation, especially when I go and interact with Gen Zs, especially in the institutions. I feel that there is lack of curiosity. But I'm so glad that your team has, this wonderful skill. Great. So the next question
Thank
is
you.
for Vipin. So Vipin, what is one human skill that you think AI will never be able to replicate, no matter how fast it learns?
Oh, so I think that's judgment.
Okay.
So basically, I related to judgment because when we say what AI cannot replace is the judgment. Okay, if we have a right thinking in place, we can use it in a right way to get whatever we want in terms of reaching to our goals and achieving whatever as a human we are thinking to achieve.
Wonderful. As rightly said, I think judgment is something which stays with humans, and I think most of the AI tools have now started writing this, that I am not an expert, and judgment is up to you only. Right. So they give their perspective, but judgment remains with us. Wonderful. Thank you so much. The next question is for Shabna. So Shabna, is there any AI tool that you use in your personal life and that makes you think that I wish my team uses this at work?
Okay, so I think every single tool that I come across, and I've always thought like, rather a phrase I'd give you, it's like a child in a toy shop. Everything appears interesting, everything I want to carry back to my team, but then you realize that's not the case. Everyone has their own best fit. So yeah, every single tool I feel like, okay, I should rush back to my team.
Okay,
Yeah.
but if you have to say use like one name of the tool, what tool would
Yeah,
that be? Only
initial
if the
one.
policy allows.
No, no. The initial ones, when we started off with lots of tools coming in, I think I was really attracted by napkin.ai, gamma.ai. I was like, oh my God, this makes my work so easy. And I used to run back and think, okay, this reduces hours of my work, so I should run back to them. But those were the days. But then after that, every time I run, the team already has some more tools that I'm like, mind blown. So that's how
So
it is.
what
Kids in the
is
toy shop,
one
basically.
tool? Oh, okay, okay. Thank you. So what is that one tool that you have recently used and you found it really wonderful?
I think the tool of the season is Claude. I feel it's very very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, yeah. All right, great. So the final question goes to Leela. So Leela, this question is for you. So when you were in school, what was the hardest thinking task you had to do that you now see AI handling very easily?
Oh, okay. So going back to school, actually, a lot of things when it comes to any projects or assignments, to start it at the before the submission night, a lot of research work which goes into it. For our generation, for most of our generation, the research actually means going through books, articles, newspapers, and through multiple resources before even starting our assignment to fill a blank sheet of paper to. But now it's all jotted down to one single prompt, one single AI prompt, and we are done getting the at least assignment. I think my younger self would be very happy doing schooling again with much more efficiency. I envy this generation actually getting all these assignments done in a single night before submission. So yeah, that's one thing from school which I feel uh, I missed in that generation.
Yeah, definitely. See how easy our life has become after AI has been introduced. Especially, I think the overall evolution of technology has changed a lot of things. So I was addressing one of the uh, panels in one of the conversations at a college few days ago, and I was discussing with them that how I started my career. So I come from a very small town of Punjab, and when I started searching for job, I moved from Punjab, moved to Delhi, and that time there was no Google Maps, there was no smartphone at all, and I would wait for every Wednesday there would be a Times jobs classified. So that time they didn't have the website as well. So I would wait for every Wednesday, and then I would use a map called Aishar City Map. I don't know if anybody has
Yeah.
heard about it. So it was a very thick book shaped map which was published by Aishar brand. Uh, so they published this map every year, and I would actually make a route map that okay, these are the 5 places where interviews are happening, and then I would make my travel plan accordingly, the route plan. And so looking back 20 years and see how technology has evolved, especially in the past 2-3 years after AI has been introduced, and how things have become easy for us. So my next question goes to Arvind, who also
Iqbal, I have a small this one. Can I steal Bibin's question and then add on one small thing? Sorry, I have
yeah,
to say this.
definitely. My next question also goes to you, so you please carry
Okay.
on with the discussion. Yeah,
Maybe
okay.
I'll be thrown out, but then still I thought I'll just tell you this. Most important thing, I think I'm just writing up. I'm not here to just show, but then I thought I'll just steal Bibin's idea. One important thing which AI will not steal from you is RISE. Resilience, imagination, curiosity, and empathy. I couldn't resist myself, I'm sorry. But then if you could just really think of it, all these things cannot be steal from a human being if you really look into it. The dog determination to come back, which is your resilience. Imagination brings a lot of insights. Curiosity is asking questions because that comes in the form of prompt. And empathy is the next thing which only helps us you to solve problems. So RISE is something which AI will never steal from you.
So
Sorry.
I would add something to this. Basically that's your right answer. When we talk about empathy, so good judgment comes from
Yeah.
experience, empathy, and accountability. So when I say when we talk about judgment, I mean to say that AI can process information, but
Yes.
it still cannot truly understand what human context or emotions are related to whatever we are feeding to AI to help us. Okay.
Right. Human intelligence, which is a function of experience, exposure, and your energy. Thank you.
Correct. Thank you.
Wonderful. I think you have got some great abbreviations.
No,
I
I'll not
actually,
speak
when
to
you
you.
said rice, I actually thought that, okay, rice is what we have for food. So I was so happy that, okay, rice is something that also AI cannot steal from us. Huh?
Because it's almost stealing everything. So I thought RISE is the best word to fight against AI. So,
Definitely. Completely agree with you. So, Arvind, you have 20 plus years of experience. So, in this industry, and how does this AI shift compare to previous tech revolutions? It's something I just tried to explain, giving example of our Aishar map thing when I started my journey. So how do you feel this AI shift compared to the previous tech revolutions, especially when computers were introduced, or we learned Microsoft Excel, or even before that I learned DOS, disk operating system.
this operating system. I firmly believe it's an age of human intelligence where you start bringing systems into your thought process, and that's why I definitely would like to rephrase this artificial intelligence into augmented intelligence, where you try to, as rightly said by Bipin, use this as a judgment tool to get a lot of options and understand the breadth and length of options and then make a correct decision. It's a decision science tool by the nature of the whole thing. If you look at the Claude, it gives you a lot of options. But then what is happening right now is we are giving everything and anything to the Claude. Even 2 plus 2 also you will give it to Claude. That is my worry. But the world needs, let's assume you have a full, now I have been, I mean, I would, if you, as rightly said by Shabana, if you look at Claude, if you go to Anthropic site, on your right hand side, you can see a list of plugins for HR and finance. Now you don't have to wait for an entire shareholder information. You just need to feed the balance sheet, your cash flow, and the profit and loss, and cash flow, everything. Automatically, you just have to say analyze to your co-pilot. It does it. But again, the outcome is something which you should be using your intelligence to really understand whether you can make insights and foresights. It's definitely making a lot of data crunching exercise, but my only worry is don't leave everything to that. So use this as an extension of your, what do you say, capability to analyze things, but diagnosis part, the so-called human has to do it. That's my thought process around it. Definitely the whole shift is around from the so-called capacity to the capability. Capacity is just be what we had, but capability is next level, wherein you have the depth and clarity of things also, which really augments your thought process. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Definitely, I think still we are in the learning stage.
Yes.
People have started learning AI, and I don't know. There is one big thing that you have said, that we have started doubting ourselves.
Yes.
Like a lot of times, we have the answer in our mind, but we have converted it to, shifted it to typing it in AI tool, Chat GPT, or maybe Claude as well. That okay, is 2 plus 2 is actually 4 or 5, right? So we are doubting ourselves.
And imagine,
So,
and Iqbal, my only worry is, sorry to say, there was a fantastic article few years back in Harvard Business School that Google is killing creativity. Now my worry is more than creativity is this so-called, I am in for all LLMs, but then is this kind of LLMs really killing imagination? I think whatever you see, even this the forum or the ecosystem or the platform which we are using is someone really imagined. But you start being a slave of technology, probably if your imagination goes, that's the end of human mankind. That's my worry. No, I'll not speak.
I'll just that's your question. You need to speak. I'll just add little more on it. And you were talking about confidence. There's actually research there which says when people have more confidence in the AI tools, their critical analytics skills and their critical thinking skills and their confidence is on the lower side. But when you have more of self confidence and then you start from there and use AI to help you take decisions, the outcomes are very much different and they are much evolved. So I think it all comes down to a fact, and it we have to give it away to the people also. The kind of hype created around it, the amount of anxiety that has been created around it. We have been talking about this. That are our jobs in danger? Are we going to lose our job security? Or how many people are going to lose jobs? Are we going to is everything that we are doing going to be obsolete in some days? Right? There is a lot of anxiety around, and maybe that is adding to that factor where people think that AI tools are the ones which are perfect and which will give the right answer. And maybe I have to step back and question myself, but that's not the truth. When we start from like our own self confidence, our contextual understanding, our understanding of what's happening, no AI tool can replace that. What I understand about my organization, what Arvind understands about his organization, an AI tool cannot replace that. And it is in our hands how we prompt it and what we get out of it. So I feel it has to start from there. The confidence factor, that's where our role comes as L&D. We may have to normalize that. We have to start having conversations that it is not a risk or a danger. There need not be anxiety around it, because with anxiety creativity cannot coexist. So we have to kill anxiety and bring in some kind of security. Only then creativity can even start.
That's right.
That's my 2 cents about it.
thank you so much, Shabna, for adding on. So moving on, the next question is for Bipin. So Bipin, you are an industry expert, and you also have Six Sigma black belt, right? So how do you see AI improving the process of thinking?
So, so as a Six Sigma, professional, one thing I strongly believe that AI can improve the process, but it cannot define the purpose. So, I mean to say, it can analyze pattern, remove the noise, and accelerate the insight. But humans still need to define the real problem statement. Okay, if the question is wrong, even the smartest AI will produce the wrong outcome. So the future skill is not just using AI, it's framing better questions. So I would like to, give one line to it like, so AI is fast, thinking help us, ask the right question first. So what I want to answer to this question. I think if any panelists want to add something to it.
No, definitely, Vipin, as you have rightly said, and what Shabana said, I feel that prompt engineering is something that we need to focus on, how
Correct.
to give the right prompt.
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah, in fact, if you remember, a couple of months back, very close to the past, prompt engineering was a whole. There were courses around it, how to frame better prompts. But today you have tools which do that,
Mhm.
which enhance your own prompts. So then it comes back to what Bipin said. It's not even about even that skill, that tool like prompt engineering today is obsolete. We have tools which will build from your raw input, it will build better prompts, right? So then where does it lead us to then? It leads us to what Vipin just said is about how do you actually frame your problems? What do you observe and what are the questions you're trying to ask? The whole culture of inquiry, asking the questions somewhere, which used to be a legacy conventional skill which L&D people have been talking about all the time, proactive questioning skills, right? But today it's more relevant than ever.
So
And
that would be
also I feel that thinking plays a lot of difference here, that what exactly we think, right? There is a very
right.
common phrase that garbage goes in and then garbage comes out, right? So it's all about what you feed to the AI, because end of the day it is also a tool which is like already providing us whatever has been taught to it, right? Whatever has been pre-recorded or whatever already been said, right? But as human, something is there in us which we can think, which can be unique, which has never been heard by any AI tool as well, right? So that's why
Yeah.
as humans we are unique.
Correct. So that's the reason I mentioned that it can improve process or it can give us the outcome, but the purpose for why we are using that tool is purely depend on the need of an hour, what an individual is working around. So the thinking, we should, if the purpose is right, the thought should be right, and so do the questions or the prompts to the AI software.
Yeah, definitely. So I think as Arvind said that he used to fear that when Google was introduced, that what will happen, what people are searching, right? It's same thing is here as well, right? If your search is meaningful, useful, then definitely your results will also be meaningful, right?
Right.
So it's like that Aladdin ka chirag, right? Whatever you wish for, it comes out, right?
Yeah.
Great. So the next question is for Shabna. Shabna, you have 14 years of experience. Wonderful. So this question is that what is the most difficult skill to teach that AI cannot help with?
In my understanding, any skills that is earned or learned through lived experiences is very difficult for an AI to teach or to even replace. Any skill that comes through experience, it could be ethical judgment, it could be contextual understanding, it could be there might be situations where you have to decide between two rights and which is the better right for your organization. Those kind of skill sets, empathy, all these skills are some of those which I don't think an AI can teach or even replace. for at least so far as we can see.
Okay. So, any particular search or experience that you had with AI where you found that that AI is still lacking behind when it comes to empathy?
A lot of times, see, in fact, not lacking empathy, I sometimes find AI to be overdoing it. See, there are some situations, and we all know, and I have been in the LDP, leadership development area, for a long time, and I know, as leaders, as managers, as people working in corporates, there are some times when tough decisions have to be taken, right? There are some times where you may not really love the decision that you're taking, but you need to take those decisions. There's always a difference between what needs to be done versus what's nice to be done, those kind of conversations. And you try and feed it to lots of memes around it. You try and feed it to any of your AI tools, and they're going to give you a very safe answer. They're going to give you a very diplomatic answer. So, where empathy needs to be realistic, it needs to be practical. At the same time, there needs to be a line drawn where what needs to be done. And those kind of, like, I think Arvind was saying, judgment, the judgment between two rights and picking the one which is a better right for you. Those kinds of judgments are things that AI tools cannot do for you. Multiple times you feed, even right now, you can try it and you can ask it questions. It's going to give you very, very safe diplomatic answers. I think AI overdoes diplomacy and empathy, which may not be masked empathy. I feel not really there. It can't lead you anywhere. That's what I feel.
Okay. Yeah, so I think some of the users have also written in the chat that AI is, answering to please us.
That's how we are training it. Sometimes I ensure, in my experience, the way I train, and ChatGPT is the most user-friendly tool, right? The training itself, I have been training the tool saying that please be frank, don't be diplomatic, don't sugarcoat, and just give me the exact understanding or analytics. Don't sugarcoat your answers to me, and act like a very frank and an open and an honest coach to me while we are having this conversation over that. That's one thing that I've tried and it's worked.
Yeah, definitely. I think truly agree to that. Recently, I also discovered a similar thing, that there is a prompt which you can actually feed into Chat GPT, that, okay, my future answers should be with a no fluff, no buttering, no balanced, right? An
Absolutely.
honest answer. And it actually worked after that. I saw that the way Chat GPT used to answer for me, it actually changed.
Yeah, but it also ensures, it reminds you, for every prompt and their answer, it will tell you, I'm not sugarcoating, I'm not giving you a fluff, and here is my understanding. And that is also a very diplomatic answer, which it gives. But then that's where we come into the picture and our judgment. So,
Yeah. So just to add a point there, Shabna, I think yes, most of the times even I use the same thing to give a human touch to the answer I get. So that's when I get these prompts, and that's what reminded me of having a human touch to all the answers I want. And it keeps reminding you to have, oh, this is what a human touch of the feel of the answer is what you're getting. So as you said, the one word which I like there was the masked empathy.
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
AI is probably doing to us, I think, with the masked empathy there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed, agreed. Sometimes we have to pull back and, like, okay, we're not going to be too nice as AI. We have to still do things that are needed and not really nice.
Somebody is saying that they also tried using this prompt, but it started scolding them as well after that.
No, I don't know what was the history of prompting that they have done before, that somehow you have trained the tool to scold you. Otherwise, it would not.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. So the next question goes to Leela. So Leela, first of all, if you can just tell us about your industry, that where you are working right now, and how are you balancing the traditional L&D with the easy AI tools? Because I come from an industry where we are very much traditional in terms of trainings, because our trainings are mostly related to food and beverages. So when it comes to training people on these things, we have to do the classroom trainings only. So tell us about your industry, that how you are managing L&D, how are you using AI tools, how frequently are you using them?
Sure, sure. So to begin with, I work for Amar Raja Group. So it's a conglomerate. So we have different industries in a single company itself. So we are into battery manufacturing, a traditional manufacturing setup. We are into infra. We are into food and beverages. Gala Foods is one of the companies. So we are actually having different learning ecosystems in one company itself. So at Amar Raja Group right now, I mean. The goal is to not replace traditional learning, first of all, with AI. The goal is to make learning more intentional, more agile. And we are currently seeing a lot of uh, extensive use of AI extremely for personalizing learning journeys. So there are learning recommendations. So we're moving into role-based learning journeys, trying to get a learning experience platform where a lot of AI buzz keeps putting into a lot of our traditional manufacturing setup learning ways. But when it comes to leadership development or when it comes to collaboration, most of the decision making workshops we do, a lot goes into growing mostly towards having conversations, reflections, and still, yes, the human touch again comes there. The real human interaction actually plays a very big role here. So the way I see it at Amaraja Group in the manufacturing setup, definitely AI handles the information delivery for us, but it's always human. It's always humans who still shape the transformation for us. So honestly, the learning environments today, what I feel are not completely in a AI learning mode or a e-learning module or just the AI classroom or just the classroom traditional in-person learnings or trainings. It's always a learning blended eco learning system is what we are seeing. We are trying to get in also because that's how they go hand in hand. We really can't be sticking completely to having AI doing our work and also can't really leave the traditional setup. So we are trying to build a proper blended ecosystems of learning, considering the companies we have in different industries. We have a foot in all of these. So being a conglomerate there, this ecosystem builds our entire learning journey from here. So one thing is just a point to add there. Yes, right now a lot of technology will accelerate the learning that is there, and the way industries are moving forward, the competitors, a lot of manufacturing setups. But what I feel is it's still through the human dialogue with the mixture of AI is what gonna uh, take the L&D side of our company or any manufacturing setup that way is gonna drive this in the future generations, in the future coming years. Uh, I feel, yeah, that's how we will go hand in hand about blended ecosystems. Yeah.
Wonderful, thank you. So apart from the content creation, using AI for the content generation, any other tools that you have been using for the delivery of L&D training programs or for evaluation of the training programs or anywhere else that you are using any particular AI tools in your company or industry?
So right now we are exploring a lot of AI assessors. We are moving from in-person assessors to AI assessors to have a lot of assessments for different programs. So it is depends on the grades and a lot of programs which we are driving here. So especially assessment centers, we are trying to move from the traditional in-person external assessments to have AI do it for us to understand and structure those programs there. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Leela. So I think one very common trend that I've seen across industry when it comes to use of AI tools is that we are all running after the speed of output, right? Rather than focusing on the ROI of decision making. So my next question is for Arvind. So Arvind, how should L&D leaders coach executives to stop chasing tool proficiency and start chasing thought leadership?
Okay. Tough question to me. I don't know. Okay, good. So thanks, Iqbal. Iqbal, the problem is basically everything revolves around the ROI of anything, right? You take, because that's one reason you get a seat in the management also. So most important thing is, in terms of thought leadership, is how, in terms of, you have your imaginative kind of products coming up in the L&D space. That's something, because most of the times when you say that number of sessions done, see, number is okay, but then what is the reach, or what is the experience? Because I always believe in only one thing called, you have ROI, but how many of us really believe? Because if your ROI has to be measured, ROI should be a function of return on time, plus the most important, I'm sorry, I don't remember which of the leaders spoke about it, it's a return on experience. Going forward, the world needs return on experience. So probably you take any kind of leadership program, leadership development programs and all those things, it's not just because you have taken it from a foreign university, or probably from the best of the best DDIs of the world. The most important thing is, has that changed the perspective in which we start seeing the world? If that is not happening, the ROI is never met, because in the age of AI, we need AI augmented leadership also. So I think believing ROI is not about making, you don't say that I have this many numbers of leaders at the top. How many of the leaders are able to take the organization next level in terms of bringing the thought leadership or AI leadership to the so-called the bottom of the pyramid? If that is not happening, the ROI is never met. And most important thing is, no more, especially the workforce which we have, it's comprising of the, if you look at the whole at the bottom, it is the millennials and the generation Z. They don't work just because you're giving them salary. They need return on experience. So your tools, whatever you have, is only one thing, but making them think, especially in terms of cognitive and critical thinking, if you can do that, your ROI is met through return on time and return on experience. This is my piece. Thank you. Not sure whether I made sense, but then this is my thought. Thank you.
No, definitely. So yeah, so anybody would like to add on here? All right, okay, fine. So when it comes to using the AI tools in any organization, one of the biggest threat everybody gets is related to biasness that AI may have. So we have Vipin here, who also is an expert on DEI. So Vipin, this question is for you. Does AI it harder or easier to drive DEI in any organization?
It is harder. So I want to tell you here that AI has a great potential in learning, personalization, or maybe hiring, or maybe into productivity. But it also inherits the biases of the data it is trained on. Okay, so we all know that AI is completely trained with the data, or they feed it with the data in the back end, or the whatever uh, space they have. So if organization blindly trust AI output, DEI can actually suffer. So when we talk about DEI, it is very important for us to understand that we are talking about diversity, where we are talking about involving or bringing people together from a different identity or a background. When we talk about equity, we are ensuring fair treatment and opportunity to the access to and the access to resources. Inclusion create an environment. So here we are talking about creating an environment where everyone feels welcomed, respected, and supported. Now that is the reason I'm mentioning here that it's very harder. You know, human oversight becomes extremely important.
So how can we mitigate the risk of bias? As you said, that human intervention is definitely required. What are the other things that we can do to ensure that it doesn't bias when it comes to DEI or anything, any policy or
So basically we need people who can question recommendation, challenges, assumptions, and ensure fairness remains a conscious business decision. So not just an algorithmic outcome. So technology should assist inclusion, not automate the bias. So I think without an human interventions or people involvement, DEI will suffer a lot if organization is blindly trusting on the outcome generated by an AI.
So, are
Yes.
there any policies in place, Bipin, in the organizations when it comes to, for having fairness when using AI tools?
Yes, absolutely. So currently we are not using any AI tool for DEI because we all personally believe that yes, human involvement is much needed to all, the DEI, whatever we are doing, in the industry or in the organization.
Just a thought here, Iqbal, if I may add
Yeah,
to
yeah,
this.
definitely.
An
Please.
interesting thought from my end. I feel in the days to come, and some of the organizations may have already started this. The course is called Responsible AI, and its 6 principles are more important than ever, which is somewhere in line with the DEI. And what I foresee is DEI crucial role as ambassadors or the quality checks to different tools that come, and they constantly keep checking, testing the tools with different inputs and different scenarios, and keep checking whether the tool still aligns to the DEI principles or not, and if not, to flag it. I feel the role of DEI in the days to come is going to be extremely crucial to ensure that there are no such biases, because it is very easy for an AI tool, where biases creep in, and if it is unnoticed, it can be dangerous. Considering the amount of conversations people have with AI, in fact, a lot more conversations with AI tools than even actual people. So their biases are even more dangerous, and the DI teams are going to be the gatekeepers, or rather I would say the ambassadors, to ensure that these biases don't come. I foresee that they would be playing an extremely important role in gatekeeping these biases for all the tools that may come. Um, and that is for our good. That's such a necessity. That's what I foresee. Vipin, if I made any relevance here.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You rightly added valid points here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bipin, I think you were going to say something.
No, no, I was just acknowledging it.
All right, thank you so much. So the next question is for you, Shabana. It's Shabna itself. I'm sorry. So how do we actually stop employees from using AI as a crutch for their own thinking? So we discussed in the beginning that adding 2 plus 2 is 4. So how do we actually stop employees using AI for smaller things, or how do we actually make sure that they are using the right prompts?
I love the way you have framed this question, calling it a crutch. Uh, an interesting question there. So yeah, I feel, like I said, and the conversation that we had in the beginning, if we are tool centric and if we are filled with anxiety, AI is going to feed on that anxiety. It's only going to make our lives difficult. We need to start more about thinking first approach. It has to be always cognitive load is something that AI is meant to take, right? That is why it is designed. Now what it does is it takes away your analysis. The data redundancy works, and the data work, and scheduling works, and all these things that would have taken a lot of time, conventional setup, is now being done by AI. It can be automated. Great. But what does it do? It allows the employees enough time to have these conversations, let's say with the business units, with the business leaders, with the project leaders, and understand what are the problems that I can solve using these tools. Now, one way, to answer your question, how do we negate the process of AI becoming, an appendage to us, is to normalize conversations where, and we were talking about ROI before. The conversations have to be now not about completion rates, shouldn't be about how many people are registering onto an edtech platform for a 2-hour course, how long were you there on the course. Those were conventional L&D matrices. They are no longer relevant now. The conversations have to be about what is the problem you're trying to solve in your project. Uh, is there a revenue leak? Is there a scope creep that got unnoticed? And how are you using your AI tools to identify those leaks? And what are you doing in order to resolve those? These are the conversations that need to happen These need to be normalized. These needs to be part of every conversation that we are having with our managers when we are setting goals for the year. These are the conversation we need to talk about. What is the problem I'm trying to solve? What tool I use is secondary, because whatever is a relevant tool today is obsolete tomorrow, right? And it's only going to create fatigue. So we need to shift our focus from the tools towards problem, not even solving, but problem identifying. Solving part, of course, the AI is able to give us options, but identifying these problems, how do we frame these problems and which problem I choose to solve? Now, these are some of the conversations. All of us have a role to play here. We need to normalize these conversations. And that is when, in the long run, AI would become, it's okay. I might use a different tool, somebody might use a different tool. It's okay, as long as I'm able to solve a problem, a business problem, I mean. That's how I see it.
Definitely, yeah. Because I think staying curious is the very valid point here. Because if we
Yeah.
kill our curiosity just randomly using AI to answer everything for us, that is definitely going to cause harm to us, because we
Just
lose
when we
our
were
focus.
talking,
Yeah.
an interesting line that came to my mind. Probably we can start asking our managers whenever the team members, now they get super excited whenever there's a new tool and people start talking about, oh, let's have conversation, let's have sessions on tools, this tool, that tool, Claude, all these things. The question that any L&D leader, manager, or anybody should ask is, what problem are you trying to solve with this tool? I think if we
Yeah.
start there, we will soon have meaningful conversations that are not necessarily tool centric all the time.
Yeah, I think definitely, as you rightly said, that the future of L&D is going to shift from a traditional trainer to a role of a coach, a mindful coach, I guess.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Who is
Great.
trying to solve business problems, and that's the part I
Yeah,
love.
definitely. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So
Yeah.
the next question is for Leela. Arvind, you wanted to add something?
No, I wanted to add
Yeah.
something
Oh,
to
sorry. Yeah, Vipin. Yes, yes, yes.
Samna's statement. So Samna, generally when we have our, Exco meeting, MCO meeting, generally, so when, people, the HODs raise their concerns with regards to training, deliveries and all that. So I just don't get into TNI, TNA and all that kind of, talks with them. I only ask them the statement which you made just now. I only ask them, what problem do you want me to solve? I think when I ask these questions to them, okay, which you said to ask to an AI tool, but when I ask to people this, they actually get into a mode of analyzing it rather than telling me, I expect this from training, learning, and OD department to happen. But when the moment I ask this question, as a human, they start, thinking, and they said, give us a time, give us a day or so, we'll come back to you. And yes, after a day, when they come back to me, they come back with a very good kind of inputs to me.
Clarity, right? Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely wonderful.
So that is
And that question is meant for people. It's not meant for
yeah.
the tool at all. It's for anybody who comes
Yes,
to you and say, "Hey, I found a tool, great one." The question is,
correct.
"Oh, what problem did you solve?"
So
Yeah,
so TNA is basically, yes, of course we do in our profession, but it is now, I think, a traditional kind of activity, rather than we should think something very different, and we should ask what problem people want to solve in their uh,
absolutely.
yeah.
Just to add one point there, Vipin and Shabna, so that got me thinking to actually understand, yes, when we ask this question, that's where the actual critical thinking starts. I have a feeling we are glorifying the entire AI tool to be presented in a way where we forget that it just acts as a catalyst to our thinking.
Hmm.
So maybe we all start, as you said, rightly said, we all have a role to play here to make AI tools look as a catalyst first and then make sure going ahead, that's the problem. The problem statements has to be given first, not create a problem statement once we have an AI tool. That's how the reverse book has been happening. So I
Yeah,
think we should move from that thinking and make sure we emphasize it a lot in our workforce today to make sure to show AI tool as a catalyst itself for our human intelligence. Yeah.
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
So, my next question to Leela is related to thinking only. So, what is the thinking gap you see in the workforce today?
Thinking gap.
Yeah.
Okay. So one gap I actually genuinely see is I'll apply it to myself too. The analytical patience is what I would call it, where we have become very fast at consuming answers, consuming content, but probably we have slowed down somewhere at questioning them in the first place. So it all links to the same question which Shabna had about how we stopped asking the problem statement in the first place. So for me, I feel the analytical patience is the gap which I am seeing in the workforce today. And especially with AI, we tend to accept probably simply the first answer we get, thinking that this is the best one, having sounding confident about it or a polished version of it. But the actual critical thinking starts after the first answer you get. That's what I feel. So that's where, not before it. So coming to ODLND in our organization, or generally when we often talk about capability building, today one of the biggest capability building is what I actually think is the ability to actually pause and ask relevant questions to see whether this is accurate, whether this is relevant to my business context, and whether what could I go wrong if I apply this blindly. Because there are a lot of the again, the patience is a word which comes to me to understand that a lot of it comes to just jumping into the solution first and not being able to solve. So coming from a company which is a conglomerate, when thinking of any program I want to start at a flagship level, it has to actually have business context at each company for us. So I think the what I feel is the future workforce is differentiated by not just by something who uses AI tools, or with businesses who get AI platforms, but it's about thinking beyond that. Yes, definitely AI gives the speed, it acts as a catalyst, but our human thinking is what gives direction. So I think we all have to understand the analytical patience has to be trained in our own brain first, than jumping into a lot of business solving techniques to the AI tools or any platforms. That's what I feel. Anything, if anyone like to add
Yeah.
there? Yeah.
Hi, Iqbal. Hi, everyone. This is Neetu here from.
Yeah. Hi, Neetu.
Hi.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Neetu.
I joined late. Yes, but very good evening to everyone. And I think this is amazing discussion that's going on. And surprisingly, just 2 days ago, I had attended a conference with the Economic Times along with Mercer Metal, and it was a similar topic. How is AI restructuring the workforce, right? So this one question, there was one concept that I would say that they were speaking about is leadership and AI. So I'm just trying to connect what Leela was trying to say, right? So the question asked under that particular leg was, is AI the end of leadership era? Okay, so repeating the question, is AI the end of leadership era? And I don't know, I started getting goosebumps after looking at that statement or that question. And I was the first, I answered immediately saying that no, it is not the end, right? Why leaders are leaders, first of all, right? So when they bring in a lot of expertise, experience, and value to the table, right? And that thinking cannot be done by AI, as you know, as we said. And for that, again, human is needed. So AI might give us the data, AI might give us maybe some solutions at some point, but again, who has to validate that? It's we as humans, we as leaders, right? So just wanted to connect that point, what Leela was saying about thinking.
Thank
It
you
is
so much,
far from
Neetu.
it. It was the beginning.
Yes,
AI
just
was just the beginning of the leadership
exactly. This is
era.
just the beginning of the leadership era, and it is also another era where leadership becomes more stronger because they have stronger data points with them to say that, hey, you know what, I have proof that, you know, I have data with me, I have proof with me, right? So it helps them to make decisions faster, their productivity is getting faster, hence they have more time to focus on strategy. So I had conversation with various CHROs, and one thing that I heard from them was that the team pulls them so much into operations that they do not have time for strategy. And for that, to their leverage, they have AI tools, which they can use it sensibly. with a lot of thinking, again, human thinking, and then they get a lot of time for strategy, right? So
just to
I
answer
hope.
your question in one line, I feel that it is definitely the end of traditional leadership.
Exactly. Yeah, end of traditional leadership. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that era is going to end definitely. Great. So I think we had a wonderful conversation. I didn't realize that we have reached to the final phase of our conversation. So Arvind wanted to leave. I think I don't know if he has disconnected already.
No, I'm not.
So
Yeah,
okay, great. So just the final question for the conversation. I'll start with you, Arvind. You can answer, and
sure,
if you want to leave, you can leave
sure.
after
Thank
that.
you.
So, what is one piece of advice for young L&D professionals entering this AI first world?
Stay curious and be imaginative, because world needs imaginative leaders, because AI is just an add-on to it. Because as long you can be, because anything you look at being innovative and creative, this is a misused word. Everything starts with imagination. And I think because of having so much of tools around, your imagination is coming to a standstill. That's my worry also. So curiosity by asking questions, and the question should be not what alone, why not? Because whatever you see in this world, people have asked questions, not just why, like Simon Sinek, why, what, and how is good, but why not is what is required. And AI, if you ask why not, it will give you more thoughts to your so-called imagination. So imagination and curiosity is the essential drivers of anything and everything, quanti essential stuff. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arvind. And it was really wonderful having you here. And I'm sure that our users would have great insights from your,
Thank you.
feedback or whatever conversation we had. Thank you so
Sure.
much. Yeah.
Sure.
So this is a common question for everyone. So the same question goes to Vipin, Leela, and Shabna, everyone
Sure.
here, even Neetu.
So I think I would like to answer it in my way. Like AI will definitely change how we work. Okay, but I want to give a thought to it. Like the organization that succeed, okay, will not be the one with the AI tool or the best tool in the world. They will only succeed once with people who can think better, adapt fast, and apply judgment wisely. So I think that has to be noted by people who are keen to learn AI, people who really want to, develop their AI skills. But at the same time, they need to think better. They need to adapt it faster and also apply judgment wisely. That what I, wanted to add for it.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
just a
Vipin.
thought there, Vipin. I think that spiked one thought here. Yes, as organizations as well as people generally, we unintentionally reward speed more than any reflection. So that comes naturally to us about having a quick response, having a faster way of getting it done. Like we use now e-commerce, faster e-commerce. We have Blinkit, Swiggy, a lot of examples in our everyday life where we unintentionally reward the speed. So, but as OD professionals, as L&D professionals, what becomes a key role for us is our interventions. As any OD interventions play a huge role by actually creating if I say, psychological safety, and also to embrace these learning cultures where questioning is encouraged first. So that
Mm.
way, definitely, again, in this AI world, AI-driven world, where the differentiation comes through judgment and not just efficiency there, but what I feel is the learning cultures should be where the questioning is encouraged, has to be going more where wherein people feel productive when they're constantly doing something. So it also requires a deep thinking. And as OD professionals, I'll speak for OD L&D space here, where if as leaders we recognize the thoughtful problem solving and the collaboration and asking better questions, where innovation again rarely again the use of all these comes in the secondary part. The primary part is to uh, intentionally reward first reflection and then go with the add-on catalyst there. So let's, on a daily basis, I think let's try to apply uh, in our daily work from now, to make sure to make it a point to first reflect and reflective thinking first, and then start using any other thing that will act as a catalyst there. Yeah.
Correct.
Thank
Very
you so
rightly said.
much. Yeah. Yeah. So the same question goes to Shabna as well.
Yeah. So thank you for the kind Iqbal. See, here is something that I'm going to talk, and I'm going to take a couple of minutes here. An important thing that I feel as LND leaders and ambassadors, we have to very consciously understand that we are fast, very fast, and in a very high speed. We are moving from skill matrices and skill stacks. We are moving towards capability matrices. We have to shift. This is a, you cannot deny it. This is coming, and we have to embrace it, right? When I say skills, now skills are easily available. Knowledge is at your leverage. You have, knowledge is not scarce anymore. It is your capability. I say capability, I mean, what do you do with that knowledge? How, what problems are you solving? What business changes and impacts are you making? There has to be a shift here. And I'm going to give you one quick stats here. See, the stats says that around 88% of companies are somehow in some process are applying AI, right? But then there are only 6% of them who are able to see any kind of change in their business matrices. Now, we as learners and we as LT people, we know that there is intent in the learners. The learners are more than excited to be part of any of these learning interventions. They want to learn because they know there is, of course, there's anxiety and stuff, right? And 88% of the companies are investing, meaning there is investment also. But then the impact is only 6%. So, what is missing? What is the missing piece? The missing piece is our shift of thinking from skills to capabilities. Now, how do we get there? For us, it is very important to have conversations, interventions that talk about decision intelligence. I'm taking from Leela's conversation that we were having just now. She was talking about patience, and I feel it is more, I'm going to rephrase that and I'm going to call it decision intelligence. What decision do you take from what all you got the information, what all data, analytics you got on your hand easy from AI? What, how intelligently are you deciding? That's number one. Number two is, how are you converting that decision to action? What actual action are you taking? Two. The third thing I believe is, are you measuring business impact or not? Did you solve a business problem? If you're able to check all these three boxes, the purpose of AI being there is served. Otherwise, it is only freeing us time to do, our other tasks which are not even important, right? If you are able to check these three, and these three skills have to be built as a system in the organizations, and they all come with their adjacent skills. Now, our intervention should be talking about problem solving skills, critical thinking skills, design thinking skills, questioning skills. These are the skills where we need to invest and not just drive the tool literacy or AI literacy. We need to build that balance, and it is us who need to talk to our leaderships. Nobody else will do that. Nobody else will have that understanding. We need to approach them. We need to tell them that if we are going to invest a lot into AI literacy, very soon there will be information fatigue and we will fail as an organization. We have to move towards capabilities. And AI tools will there. It can grow. It will grow. But then that's not our primary objective.
Yeah, definitely. I think bang on because you rightly said that AI tools would be keep on coming,
Yeah.
new tools would be coming up, right? And new technologies would be coming up, and we don't know that whatever we are doing right now would be useful in next 5 years or not. But if we have the the creativity, the problem solving, the decision making, and as you rightly said, the third tick mark relating the learning objective to the business, right? So
Absolutely.
I think that is where L&D becomes very, very important, right?
Yeah.
So this is the real challenge that most of the organizations are facing, that they are doing more learning about the AI tools, but the focus should be shifted to the judgment, creativity, problem
Meta
solving, and
skills,
decision making.
basically.
Yeah, definitely. Bipin, you want to add something?
No, it's absolutely,
All right. So now, Leela,
I thought I wanted to add. I wanted to add
sure.
one point to what Shabna said about, so she connected this decision intelligence and taking action for that. So basically, there's a term for that where it's called bias for action. So we have all the data with us, but again, as L&D professionals, are we driving our people to take action, or are we taking action? That's number one. Answering your question, Iqbal, right? So you were asking, right? So what is the two things that L&D professionals do? Number two, again, this is one takeaway I had from the conference recently. As L&D professionals, are we really having keeping human at the core, or are we having AI at the helm? Okay, so I would just like to put that on the chat for all of you for further thinking, right? Are we keeping human at the core, or are we really having just AI at the helm, right? So many organizations, what they're doing is they keep AI at the helm, but whereas the thing should be that human should be as a part of the entire process, right? So here what I would connect to this is, again, a very simple basic human element, which is empathy, right? So when L&D professionals are able to bring in empathy, keep human at the center of everything, or keep employees at the center of everything, especially learning, will they be able to absorb this learning, or will this AI, will this particular AI tool or whatever is going to be heavy for them, right? What is needed for them right now to be productive, to give the business impact, right? So that empathy, if L&D professionals bring in, I'm sure bang on here then.
Thank you so much, Neetu. So finally, Leela, over to you.
Just a thought there for Neetu's question. I think that reminded me of something which I heard in a session there. So maybe because a lot of group discussion topics nowadays, and a lot of discussions come
True.
around human
True.
versus AI or
Yes.
human with
Yes.
AI. So when you said that, Neetu, that one thing that spiked was maybe the future is not about humans competing with AI. What I
Exactly.
feel is, it's about humans actually becoming more human, working intelligently with AI. Is what I feel is the right way of seeing how AI is taking over. There are a lot of things that come up, right? So it's about actually humans becoming more human.
But it's
Yep.
becoming the opposite sometimes, human not becoming humans. They're trying to degrade the basic human values, right? And I'm sure all of us have kids at home, and they don't want to talk to real humans. They just they want devices, right? But for generations like us, we really like to interact. Like, see, we all are here switching on our cameras, and we have our smiling faces, looking at each other, having a discussion. But I'm not sure whether our current generation would love to do that, right? Because
It would, if we all start normalizing the fact that AI will take care of our redundant tasks. I have enough time to sit with you and talk.
Yes, exactly.
AI is doing the back end.
True.
And it's okay.
So that is, I would say that where the role of L&D professional would be very critical.
Exactly.
Be the bridge between the technology and human research.
And the human. Amazing.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in today. It was really a great conversation, and I'm sure that our users would have a great learning takeaways with them. So once again, I thank all the fellow panelists for joining the conversation. Over to you, Mr. Patil.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Iqbal, and thank you to all our panelists and the participants for an insightful discussion. So I think one of the key takeaways from today is that while AI tools may become easier and more accessible, the real differentiator will continue to be human thinking, our ability to question, analyze, adapt, and make meaningful decisions. That came strongly. So the future of L&D is not just about enabling AI adoption, but also building curious, critical, and responsible thinkers. So that was my takeaway from this session. So thank you once again to everyone for being part of this conversation, and have a great evening to all of you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you.